And do you think that that was just a natural ambition and drive inside you, or was that something that through osmosis of being around people that were doing crazy big things that you were like, oh shit, like, did you have any limitation on your mindset?
Yes.
Or you did?
Oh, yes.
So like you get around this exposure and you're like, oh my God, like I gotta be part of this. Even though it was scary, you had to step into it.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I didn't know, I knew I would last, but you know, when you are put in a position where you're in command of a jet, you're now working in real estate, which is, cause there's a lot of unknowns, right? Like when you go from a fourplex to 300 units, Grant's very simple when it comes to like, hey, how does he want you to learn, right? Like if you were to go say, hey, Grant, I want to help you, right, in your team. Like for me, he's like, go and get in every part of the business, have people know who you are, and go and learn from the bottom up. And so I literally went from managing regional investors to going on properties to site visits to talking to investors to analyzing deals to underwriting deals. Like I've literally gone from the bottom. And he doesn't, Grant's not and this is something really I want something, like if you're watching this right now, if you're looking for a mentor, you cannot go and expect them to teach you and have a playbook of how you're going to learn. They're not going to do that. If I go to you and say, Clever, let me be your right-hand guy, you're going to be like, okay, what do you have to offer? What are you going to do? What are you going to take off my plate? Because you're going to put me in the game. Like this is what people need to understand. Grant put me in the game. He put me in scenarios and situations where I was very uncomfortable, but I figured out a solution for them. People who are winners find solutions. People who are not winners find problems. And I've always been, so to go back to your mindset question, I've always had limiting beliefs because the people around me had limiting beliefs. When I found Grant on YouTube, my girlfriend was like, oh, you're going to go work for Grant Cardone? You're going to give up your career at United? You're going to go give up this? And I'm like, yeah, I am. I actually am. Because what this guy is saying is true. And I need to figure out how to play a bigger game. And I can do it by myself and go and get subject to and go and get, master lease options and go and get fourplexes and 3 units. Or I could skip it, have somebody tell me all my properties are junk, sell those properties, end up with 500 grand, pay the tax, had 400 grand. Literally my 400 grand went in 826 units in Nashville, Tennessee.
So you just dumped it in one of his projects. You said, hey,
he already bought it. He was willing to let me invest in his deals. And I said, let's go. It was one of the biggest reliefs, one of the biggest weights off my shoulder, because no longer was I managing the airplane, managing 21 units, managing the sales, managing all that. Like I was like, I can now put my money to work, because there's a difference between investing and working in real estate.
100%.
And it's confusing, right? Because you're like, I'm going to go buy a fourplex. I'm going to go buy a single unit. You actually, welcome to your new job.
Yep. Yeah. And a lot of people don't really understand what it takes to be a landlord, and they have to cut their teeth. And then they really realize very quickly, I want to get rid of this property.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass.
I feel that way about a lot of my Airbnbs.